All right. Good evening, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? Welcome in. We're happy to have you guys here. How's it going? So, today we've got episode 21 of the Thick and Spooky Ghouls podcast, and we have two very special guests. We've got the beautiful Bentleigh rejoining us, and of course, our co-host KatesEledgy, who will be joining us today. So, we don't have Meso, but we're sending all the positive energy and love towards Meso. She's got a lot going on her plate right now, so she needed some time off. So it's just going to be the three of us, and we hope you guys enjoy our company. And let's go ahead and say hello to our friends. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
Yowdy yowdy.
Welcome back, you two. Welcome back. Bentleigh, it's been almost a year, I think, since your last podcast episode.
I was trying to remember how long it's been. It does not feel like it's been a year.
I think it's almost a year. I don't think it's quite there yet, but I think it's almost a year. I think when did I have you last year? I can't remember, but yeah, you were here last year, and
yeah.
And we've got Kate, who helped us out for Christmas, the Christmas episode. She gave us the Yule breakdown, which was pretty fun.
Yeah. Yep. 6 months ago of me ghosting one of our followers, one of our friends.
But yeah, welcome everybody. Hello, Octavius. We're glad to see you. Welcome in. Glad to see your face. We were just talking about you. I think we summoned you by talking about you, unless,
Yeah, I think he just wants to see the stretching happen.
Oh, the stretching. Oh, while I'm stretching, you guys should check out my really cool t-shirt that I've got over here. Isn't it great? Yeah, it's a great shirt. I know. It's a lovely shirt.
It is a great shirt.
Sorry, Octavius. I stretch for no man.
So today, we are actually covering some pretty fun topics today. We've got some new age beliefs coming in, but we also have a really, really fun Slavic one, which I'm very excited for. I've heard of it vaguely, but don't know too much about it, so I'm very excited for it. Kaz, it's a crime to have all this hotness on one stream. I want to sue you for exclusive rights. Hello, Ghostly Vendetta.
Kaz is our lawyer. He was my lawyer first, and then Octavius needed one, so then he became Octavius' lawyer. I don't think it was by choice at all.
I see my model randomly jumping. You guys aren't getting any feedback, are you?
No. Are you okay?
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Nope, you've been quiet.
Maybe it's the model just wants to stretch for Octavius.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
You're like, I stretch for no man. The model's like, I will stretch for him.
I will stretch for no man but Octavius.
Right. Well, that's where we are.
I call him Octababius now. That is the name that I have for him, is Octababius. Yeah.
That's a good name.
And my sister, my sister is so sad because every time she hears you guys talking, you and Octavius, when you guys are doing your little just chatting streams, or it's just the two of you, she's just like, I just love listening to them. And she's just like, Octavius has such a nice voice. And I'm all like, I know.
Well, I will say, you can let your sister know that the feeling is mutual. He also thinks she has a very nice voice.
There you go.
Make voice babies.
So I will be covering the Indigo children. It would help if I pulled out my notes earlier. God damn it. I'm already messing up, you guys. See, the pressure is
No
on.
notes. No notes.
No notes for you. No,
We're just gonna wing it this whole episode. It's gonna be fine.
Just make up some bullshit and be like, April Fools in June.
I lost all of my notes, and everything is gonna be from the last 5 hours of me just listening to YouTube videos.
Bentleigh,
Yeah.
100%. That was my first guest star appearance. Is my computer corrupt my external hard drive, and I'm like, Daku, I have nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Oh man, it's crazy.
Oh my
Like,
gosh,
I'm winging
that's amazing. How'd it go?
It was good times. It went. I think it went well. I was offered another appearance, so I assume I'm here right
I think
now.
several appearances after
there's
that.
just
So how'd you
something.
go really well.
Yeah, there's just something about Kate. There's just like, she just knows shit. Like, she literally just knows shit. She's so knowledgeable. It's crazy. It's just the most knowledgeable thing I could possibly. I can't express enough just how amazingly knowledgeable Kate is. And
I read a lot.
Yeah, and I love listening to her because she goes on these, like, I would call them like these nerdy there's nerdy rants where she just like starts to focus on something and then she'll start talking about it and just like talk about it forever and you're like, yes, it's very cute.
It's my
It's
neurodivergence.
very cute. All right.
I'm not neurotypical, and Daku likes it.
I'm sorry, but people are
It's
just more
good. Good.
interesting if they're different from everybody else, and I like seeing how how people like think and how their brain works is always great. So when I hear them thank you for those biddies. When I hear them talking, it's just like I just love listening to their way of processing the information, how they got to said information. And then I just really enjoy when people are like passionately talking about a topic that they like. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice.
And Bentleigh, one day soon, I do want to let you know my model was done by Daku, but I do dress like this in person. I'm trying to get a better wolf mask. I will post the 3D print that I currently have, which is too small for my face, but we'll talk about it another time. So
That can
eventually,
go up on the wall.
exactly. I'm probably gonna give it to somebody in the community. Be all like, "Hey, anybody
cool.
want a KatesEledgy little souvenir?" There you go.
Yeah, that's
Might send it to
awesome.
Daku for
Give
her
it
birthday.
away.
Be all like, "Hey, I know you like books, but I'm going to always watch you reading."
Yeah. And
That's not. Speaking of stalkers,
my most recent art project was like done a few nights ago, and I made the pride brick. I was really proud of the pride brick. I was very proud of it. And I was excited because I just put it in today, and Bentleigh was the first one to use it. I'm like, hey, it's already getting used.
Hey, yes, I saw it, and I was like, I have to immediately use that. I'm excited to see what Kate looks like in your wolf's outfit.
Someday.
I actually have one. Hold on, I'll
Someday.
get you. Here, I'll just post it in the.
Will we have a podcast with Kate's face eventually?
Yes, you will. You will. I actually am. I'm in the process of moving to a more stable situation without children running in the background, stuff like that. So,
all right. So I am discussing. Well, I am bringing up Indigo children. I don't know if have you guys ever heard of Indigo children? Kate, obviously you have. Bentleigh, do you know anything about Indigo children?
No, I don't really know a lot about Indigo children. I really kind of heard more. I've heard about like the star seeds and things like that and rainbow children, but not Indigo children.
Yeah, so Indigo children is like is the new age belief, and they are believed to be special beings with a very unique and powerful spiritual mission, and they're believed to be the next evolution of mankind. They believe that they're the blueprint to who we need to be, who our next evolution needs to be, and the next evolution is supposed to be a more enlightened enlightened and more involved, so that they can be more connected with their humanity and connected with the earth. So so basically they're there to bring us. They're believed to come over here to start the quest to get us more empathy, which we need empathy really bad right now, really bad.
Oh yes,
yeah. So that's why like this topic, when it just came out of the blue, I'm like, you know what, this seems like the perfect topic for this political climate right now. And so the first mention of Indigo children was actually done by a parapsychologist named Nancy Ann Tappe, who, I don't know if it's Tap or Tappe. It's Tappe. I say Tappe, but it's probably Tap. But I'm gonna make it fancy and say she's Nancy Ann Tappe.
I mean, Tappe sounds good to me. That's how I would say it.
Yeah, Nancy Ann Tappe, who actually
you are fancy now.
who actually started to notice that around the 1960s, she was noticing that there was children being born in the early 1960s and 1970s, and when she would look at these kids, they would have what you would perceive as a indigo aura. So yeah, so she published a book that in 1986 called Understanding Your Life Through Colors, and she's kind of like my first introduction to aura reading. I don't know if you know of aura reading, where people like, oh, stand in this camera so it can read your aura, and then you can have a picture with your aura. Or people are like, look at me, what color aura? Like, so aura is a type of like energy that you project from your body. And so she's kind of like my first, I don't know if she is the first, but she is kind of my first experience with learning about aura reading. So she published a book in 1986 called Understanding Your Life Through Colors. And the book actually talks about how people are born with specific color auras, and the auras usually, like, they have a specific color that stays consistent throughout their life. So they'll have different colors, but there's one that's always with them, because your aura also changes based on your moods and all that stuff too. But there's like your primary aura, which is the one that's always with you that they see consistently, and then there's the other colors that show up. I guess it would be the stronger color of your aura, the one that shows up more frequently. But apparently, whatever your aura color is specifically, stays with you through your life. And so after that, she produced a book called "What Color Is Your Aura?" It's personality spectrums for understanding the growth. So she produced that book in 1989. So in 1986 was her first book, and then her next book was in 1989. And she actually had a few students that studied what her theory is and her concepts about aura reading. So she had a few students, and one of her students named Barbara Bauer was Barbara Bauer, and then the other one was Pamela Isley, and both of them also published books. And yeah,
Pamela Isley is also poison ivy, but I digress.
Pamela Osley, Oslie, Oslie.
Oh, Osley. Oh, dang.
Osley, yeah.
I'm
So
sorry, you
Close.
triggered my oddness.
oh, sorry, you guys. Let me rewind. I missed part of my notes. Sorry. Nancy Ann Tappe released the book Understanding Your Life Through Color in 1986, and then her student Barbara Bowers, who was underneath her, wrote her own book in 1989 called What Color Is Your Aura? So she's the one that wrote that book. And then one of her students, named Pamela Osley, published a book under her teachings called What Color Is Your Aura? Reveal. And so that was published in 1991. So the concept of indigo children has gone as far back as 1960s. And around the 1990s, Lee Carroll and Jan Tober further developed Tappe's idea, and a series of books came out about indigo children. And they were published, and this was around the time that the idea of indigo children just started to become more of a popular concept. Like in 2002, the first conference or international conference that they had that's focused on indigo children, it was actually held in Hawaii, and there was like over 600 people that showed up. So it started really, really small, and then it started to blow up from 1990 to 2002. And then when they had a conference in 2002, they had 6 attendees, like, or more attendees. So it started to just blow up in the new age belief system.
How many attendees did you say they had?
600 people. Over 600
600.
people.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard just 6, and I was like,
No,
That's
600.
I mean, 6 is a lot of people. It depends. It's half full, half empty. Gotta look at the perspective.
I mean, if you think about it in Twitch numbers, 6 viewers is better than 0
Yeah,
viewers. 6
that's
viewers
very
is worth
true.
celebrating. So, every person counts. Every person counts. But no, they had over 600 people show up to this conference in 2002.
Amazing.
Like putting them on blast.
And so one of the most common things is like, how do you identify an indigo child? So because they believe that indigo children were born between 1960s, but some say 1978, but I think the theory of aura reading started in 1980, in the 1960s, but then in 1978 is when they specified it to indigo children. And they believe that children were born indigo children were born between 1978 and 1988. And so these are kids that would have an indigo aura to them, and they have a special mission that they need to do while they're on Earth. So how do you identify an indigo child? It's actually very, very difficult to identify them, because some of them don't know that they are an indigo child, or some of them they're just very secretive and won't say. But you can pick up with their behaviors or certain things that they're interested in. You could kind of like be like, maybe. So it's very difficult to identify an indigo child. They do have very strong psychic abilities, so they usually belong in the fields of anything that has to do with like tarot reading, anything to do with that kind of I can't think of the words right now. just the psychic ability, just that branch of tarot reading, psychic, palm reading, etc. So they're usually involved in
Intuitive
this. Yeah.
abilities.
Thank you. Divination, would that be divination? Would that be what
Yep.
it is? Yeah, divination. Yeah. Thank you. I was trying to figure it out, and I'm like, Harry Potter taught me this. Some say that for aura readers, they can immediately tell when a person is an indigo child because they can see their aura very, very clearly. Because there's people that see auras all the time, and there's some people that can briefly see it, but it's not something that's very apparent. And then there's people that just don't see auras at all. So there's people that are aura readers, and they're the ones that usually have the "let me read your aura," or they'll have a camera that they introduce that shows a picture of your aura and stuff like that. But they can tell. So aura readers can tell indigo children because they have the aura. So that's a way to tell if you can see auras. But other than that, they do struggle to fit in, and and on top of them struggling to fit in with communities and groups, is that they're highly intelligent. They're highly intelligent, and they often have issues with teachers and stuff like that, because sometimes they look down on teachers or persons of power, or persons of, I guess it wouldn't be like your teacher, your parent, your president, your, just any authority figure, or what would be seen an authority figure for a child. They usually look down on them if they don't feel they're very smart. So they
It's me. I'm an indigo.
so they and to make things is they like, they aren't very, they don't know that they're being rude by pointing out all the things that you're saying that is wrong. But yeah, so they do have a hard time fitting in because of that. And they're
Daku,
also,
stop reading my diary.
I'm sorry, baby. They're also extremely empathetic, so they're very strong empaths, and they're very sensitive. So their feelings are, they're very sensitive. They feel their emotions very, very strongly. And they're also extremely curious and very strong-willed and determined. So if they see, if they think something needs to be done, they're very determined to make it happen. So they're very strong-willed, and they also have a very, very strong sense of justice. So like, they're the type of people that if they see someone breaking a law, it makes them extremely like angry, and they feel like something needs to be done because they are breaking a rule that they shouldn't be, and they need to be punished for it. So they have a very, very strong sense of justice. So if they see something that they know is wrong, it's hard for them to just ignore it or let it go, And so so they said that the indigo children were born between 1978 and 1988, and indigo children even have an indigo, sorry, wow, my notes are a fucking mess. Please hold. What did I do?
I'm sorry, I'll write better next time so you can read my handwriting.
No, so when I do my notes,
can we use Kate to write notes?
What I wish.
I failed miserably. I missed out on an opportunity.
When I do my notes, I look at it from different things, and I usually, like, I'm listening to a podcast, watching a YouTube video, watching something on TV, or reading. And so whatever is near me, I will take notes on. Whatever I'm like, oh, this is interesting, I'll add this to that. And then after that, I go into my little document here, and I put in all of my information that I've gathered into one. And sometimes certain things get put in the wrong place because it's just chaos, you guys. It's utter chaos. Okay.
Plug it into Grammarly. It will structure it better for you.
Maybe
that's what I should do real quick.
Yes.
not the hot takes, not the quick shortcuts.
There, found it, you guys. Found it. Sorry. I had a sentence in between another sentence. I'm like, why are you there? You don't belong here. All right. So they're they have a very strong sense of justice. And like, as you guys know, they're said to be born between 1978 and 1980 is the primary time. Some may come before and some may come after, but the biggest time that they would be coming here is 1978 and 1988. So even at a young age, indigo children actually start to question persons of authority. They question the rules and why these rules exist and why are they enforced. And they're also drawn to topics that focus on social justice, ecology, and human rights. So they're very they're activists for sure, but that's kind of their point in Earth, right? And they're often they can also express a strong desire to make the world better, and they actively try and find ways to make the world better. So they'll find a place that they can volunteer. They'll find a job that will help them make a difference. So they have a very strong need to do that. They want to contribute to changing people because their mission is to move us to our next stage, and their focus is to do it in the best way that they possibly can. Due to them having great empathy and ability to perceive the emotions, they actually often struggle with anxiety, depression, and they also have physical effects on them when they're feeling too strong. So they often have headaches when they're too stressed out or if there's too much going on. They get headaches, and they often get stomach aches so that they don't really want to eat. So it's really hard for them. So they have lots of digestive issues and headaches whenever they're stressed out or whenever there's just too many things. It's just their anxiety gets the best of them, their depression, because they're very sensitive. Like I said, they feel things 100-fold. So it's important for the Indigo children to actually find a way to get a healthy way to receive emotional support and tools to help deal with their depression and anxiety. So they often seek out, like, therapists. They often seek out ways to help deal with all of that.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
more stress.
But yeah, they have special gifts like psychic abilities, and some say that some Indigo children are born with memories from the divine beings, and it also, like, they're born with a mission already, so they have divine gifts on top of that. So, but yeah, very strong psychic abilities. And so what is their mission? The mission of the Indigo children is to actually make a change in humanity so they can reach the next level of enlightenment. They are very creative and rebellious spirits or souls, and they often come here to lead us, to make us into a more enlightened and better person. So everyone that they encounter, they try and make them, like, educate them in a sense, or help push them to better understanding. They have a very, very strong need and desire to fulfill their mission. And because of this, there's a lot of issues with people saying that because of their strong desire and all of these happening, they have a lot of behavioral issues. So they're like I said, they're super empathetic, they're very nice, but at the same time, they have so much going on that they do tend to act out and have behavioral issues when there's too much going on that they can't handle. And they're seen as difficult, troublesome, and disruptive, which I hate that. But at the same time, being someone who feels my emotions as strongly as I do, I can understand why they would act up, because if I feel overwhelmed sometimes and I can see myself having an attitude, or just not wanting to do anything, imagine someone that feels the feelings that I'm feeling 100-fold. I can understand why. It just sucks that that's like a connection for them, because they're genuinely great and good people. And they usually get stressed out, and they are often frustrated with a system or structure that they feel isn't effective, or if they think that the system is unjust. So they would be very vocal right now with everything going on right now. They would be very vocal. They would, like, Indigo children would probably be in the protest right now because of that. Because remember, they were born in 1978 to 1988, so they're my age or older. So 37, my age or older. So they're probably actively protesting right now, and because they feel like the system's unjust, and they have a very strong need to change the world. And any resistance to their goals causes them to get really disappointed, really stressed out, and again, gives them issues. And then they are believed to come from a spiritual dimension of Earth that's still in the process of ascending. This sounds like autism and ND things. Yeah. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like me when I get like overstimulated, there's too much noise or something happening. I just go, I am very aggressive.
yeah, and so there's a
Why
lot of
why do you think
people.
there's so many studies? They're trying to figure
Mm-hmm.
out if you're an indigo child.
Yeah.
Mm.
Facts. Hashtag facts.
So it, to be born of an indigo child, there's usually 4 different personality types, I guess, would be the indigo children. So they have 4 different roles. So if you're an indigo child, you're going to fit in one of these 4 roles. So I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of these 4 roles.
Oh,
So
hold on. I gotta get my note pulled up on this one. I want to see because we have a lot of parallels in our topic. I want to
I
see if there's
know
more.
we're going to have so many similarities, but that's what happens because our topics are kind of very, very connected, you know? And I didn't
I'll
think
be
they
the
would be
nice
Yeah.
that
palate
connected.
cleanser in between. It'll be great.
Yeah.
It's good.
So
It's good. It's all good.
So there are 4 different types of indigo children. So one of them is called, they're the humanist type. And so the humanist ones are the ones that the humanist ones where their job is to be the humanist is they're social butterflies. So they're super social. They'd most likely be like an influencer with a large following, a political maven, or a teacher. And they're extremely social and they're very social, so they want to stay connected with people, and so they feel the constant need to connect with people, and they tend to do that through technology, hence being a YouTuber, influencer. So they try and connect with as many people as they can, and that's why they have a huge following. And their purpose, their role, their job is to connect and unite everybody through using technology. So getting they want us to advance, so they want us to take advantage of the technology, and they really want us to just connect and unite. So things like Friendster, Facebook, Instagram, anything that's like social network connecting, they're all for it. Okay, so that's the first type. Then we have the second type, which are the artists types. They're very artistic powerhouses. Like they're extremely artistic. So if you see someone that can draw, you're like, yeah, you're a great drawer. But then there's someone you're like, oh my fucking god, you know what I mean? So like they're extremely artistic, and they definitely have you can tell that they have a gift, a very strong gift, you know. And
Mm.
they're actually not like they're born with the ability to with the innate ability to sing, to dance, and to create. And a lot of indigo artists that are a lot of the indigo artists of today are probably making music or um probably creating content somewhere that's art based related or making beautiful art pieces elsewhere. But yeah, they're the most sensitive of the bunch, and and yeah, they're very, very sensitive and emotional. And what did I fucking write? Oh my god, you guys. Please hold.
Grammarly.
I know. I think I might need to do that. Okay, so they have
You're
the
good.
yeah, they
You're
have the
good.
ability to dance, sing, create, and a lot of the indigo people are artists. Yes, this is the role. That I know that was the role. Sorry, you guys, I'm talking to myself here. We're gonna get it together. Okay, so they're
No.
extremely sensitive and emotional, but unlike the previous generations, when emotions are meant to be stuffed and kept quiet, the indigo artist has no problem expressing their feelings. So they're very vocal about letting you know how they're feeling. So they are very expressive. And it's probably why they're really great artists, is because they're extremely expressive and they do have a message that they want to say, and it translates really well to the canvas or whatever their art piece is. And their purpose is to elevate humans to becoming more expressive and more compassionate. And they really, really have that desire, and they'll use their art form to do that. And then the third typing is the conceptualists. And these are the more engineers or inventors of the indigo children. And so they're supposed to introduce systems that work, and they're usually introverts, and they're happier being behind the scenes rather than being with other people mingling. They thrive in being alone and doing what they need to do alone. Even so they're much happier when they're not surrounded by people, and they're very introverted. So as the artists are super super extroverted, the conceptualists are very very introverted, and their focus is to create the new system that that mankind's going to use. They want to intertwine the new technology, and they want the humans to connect and communicate on the larger scale. And their purpose, aside from creating things, is to be the problem solvers and to create better tools for us to use, and a better infrastructure for us to use. So they're very 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 important, because they are the ones that's going to get the systems introduced to us. So they're quite great, the problem solvers. So, and then we've got the last group, which is the Catalyst group. They're actually the smallest group of Indigo, and they're also the group that most likely don't know that they're Indigo children. And so,
Wait, can you repeat the name of the group one more time?
Indigo children? Or are you talking about the Catalyst?
Catalyst.
Yeah, the Catalyst. It's
okay. Yeah. I heard something else, and I was like, "That's not right."
No, they're the catalyst. And so, they don't know that they're
bump Bentleigh's brain into the gutter. It's all right.
So sorry, lost my notes there. So, the catalyst, their point is to. Oh my God! Wait, I lost my notes. Sorry. Okay, so they're the ones that don't know who they are, and they're also the ones that's not as connected with all the other Indigo children. The conceptualists, the artists, and the humanist, they all kind of intertwine with each other and all that stuff. But they're less aware that they are Indigo children. But they know is they're used, and their point is to change how to change our way of thinking, to introduce us to new ways of thinking. And they often do this without even knowing that they're doing this. So they're unaware that they're doing something that they're supposed to be doing. They're just naturally doing it, and they're unaware that they're doing it. And so they're just trying to introduce a different perspective, or a more expanded. Hello, Supreme Tater Queen, my beautiful waifu. How are ya?
You know what I noticed?
What?
Again, I don't see a baguette.
Oh yeah, she's actually working a convention today, a Smash convention today.
I'm just ongoing joke. We're the same person.
Yeah, I'm Kate. She is working a conference today for Smash.
Oh yes. Yeah, conference. Got it. Yeah. I'm sorry. We're not the same person. I don't keep up with appearances and all that.
Kate.
Kate.
I'm sorry.
If you didn't understand the wink I was throwing at you, God.
I mean, isn't that my neurodivergent
you don't
Indigo seed thing?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you guys don't understand. They're empathetic, so they kind of understand. But I think that they're like, am I putting too much thought into this, or are they just being extremely nice to me and I'm just awkward? It's one of those things. You're just like, they won't know until you tell them. You're like, I am flirting with you, and they're like, got it.
Yeah, I mean that is me, but calm down, Daku. I get your flirtation. We can talk about this off screen.
Perfect.
All right. Don't want to make everybody else jealous.
There. Sorry, other waifus out here. Okay.
I mean, I'm right here, you guys.
I'm sorry, Bentleigh. You can join the conversation. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay,
and so
we can hang out after.
So due to the catalyst, Indigo, and their ability to change our way of thinking, or give us a new perspective and a new way of thinking, they are actually often when in a job or something like that, they're usually given a label or a title, and they're usually put somewhere in the role of being a leader without one. randomly just fall in here like, oh, I'm the manager here. Like they just become a leader without meaning to become a leader. And that's because
Yikes.
they have a different perspective and they have a new way of thinking. So they don't understand what's happening, but they're just like, it's working out for me, I guess. It's cool. But yeah, so they're often in jobs that, in a job, they're usually given some kind of title or some kind of position of some kind of leadership position because of the way they think. And their purpose is to challenge the human race and also inspire them to change. So that's their purpose. So those are the four types. We've got the humanist, who are the social butterflies that want to stay connected with everybody and has like the influencer thing. And then you've got the artist that's trying to make people feel more and understand humanity more, and they're using their art to do that. Then you've got the conceptualists, who are the ones that are basically putting the blueprint down. And then you've got the catalysts, who are introducing a new way of thinking, and they're more likely to be leaders because of that. So that's the four different types of indigo children. And so I briefly touched on this earlier, but there's a lot of misdiagnosing when it comes to indigo children. So there's actually no scientific studies that prove that indigo children are real. And some of those people believe that parents use the term indigo child. I'm saying it because that's how they would say it. Use the term indigo child as a way to excuse or explain their child's misbehavior. Some, thank you for that follow, Inversetchi. Welcome in.
Welcome in.
And so, so some parents just choose to diagnose their child as an indigo child, despite their child being diagnosed with learning disabilities and stuff like that. They're like, oh, it's not that. It's because they're an indigo child and they're special. And then many critics actually view this as a way for these parents to avoid considering pediatric treatment or psychiatric diagnosis. And then a lot of critics actually you say like, oh, parents that say, oh, it's because they're an indigo child, they feel like it's them avoiding responsibilities. If you guys, I needed to move my shoulders to make my point. Society likes the bucket people though. Bucket people, I like bucket people. Wait, is that the guy that plays the drums?
I think
with
they
the
would
bucket hat?
put people in buckets.
Oh yeah,
Like boxes.
I said bucket
Yeah.
people. I like bucket people.
I like bucket people.
I like bucket people. Sure, nope. That's not.
And then
okay.
it's also they also believe it's the way for them to basically give a vague excuse for why their child is the way they are. So there's a lot of people that misdiagnose their child as an indigo child, and it is not seen as something great in the children's psychology group. So
yeah.
So that's,
I mean, there's not a lot of things that look good in children's psychology to begin with. We need to advance that a lot.
True. Yeah. Well, I feel like we were born in a society that is afraid to ask for help or is ashamed that they have to ask for help. And I feel like I like the fact that we're more open to talking to someone about problems. Like, therapy is becoming more and more acceptable as a way of dealing with stuff. And I think it's great. So,
well, isn't that the purpose of indigo children? Aren't they supposed to be helping us?
Yeah, well, why are we where we're at right now? Never mind, we'll talk about this later. It's too emotional.
Right.
Too emotional.
This is a whole nother podcast. Different topics.
Yeah.
This is a whole can of worms we don't want to open here right now.
Yeah. So so that's like they're often used as misdiagnosing. And so that's like the first part of the indigo children. So after that first wave, then there came the second wave of children, but they're known as crystal children. And they're actually believed to be born between 1990 and 2010. And their purpose is to, of course, lead us back to love, peace, and to teach us to live in unity. And instead of being more individuals, we needed to come together more united instead of like focusing on yourself and your own ego, expanding that and focusing on the group, And then a
Oh,
lot of
oh, so this is what I am, not indigo. Okay, gotcha, gotcha,
you're a
gotcha.
crystal child. Well, a lot of people think like a lot of people read on this because there's a lot of people that feel out of step with this place, right? And they always find a way to explain why they feel that way. And I feel like everyone feels that way and they don't understand that everyone feels
Mhm.
this way. And some people will think, "Oh, maybe I'm an indigo child." And then they try and identify as an indigo child. And so there's a lot of people that do think that they're indigo children because they can relate to a lot of the things that describe what an indigo child is. But we're back to crystal children, sorry. And so they're here to bring us back to love, peace, unity, and to put less focus on the ego and to start focusing on the bigger picture. And so their focus is to put more focus on like less focus on the ego, on yourself, and to focus on everybody else and get reconnected. And then a lot of them actually hold the gifts of clairvoyance and healing. So a lot of them are healers, probably work in the medical field, probably nurses right now. And the reason they're called crystal children is because their aura is an aura that is hard for the human eye to see. It's called they call it an octarine aura. And an
Hmm.
octarine aura was like a concept where it was like a color that was made. And in this instance, the octarine would be like a fluorescent green with yellow purple colors, you know? And
And you
so
need to play an ocarina to see it.
because their aura is like it shimmers between these colors, that's why they're called crystal children, because the color spectrum coming off of the crystals, the different like the color that bounces off the different crystals.
Hmm.
So because they
So
have
it's more iridescent? Is that what you're
they
saying?
yeah, it's like a fluorescent green, yellow, purple color is their aura. It's
Mhm.
like a shimmer in a sense, you know? And so because of that, they're seen as like a crystal aura, and that's how they became known as the crystal
Hold on, I'll
children.
show you. I'll show you the iridescence to see if it's what you could possibly show it on
I
screen as
looked
well.
it up online and it looks like blurple, except for it's not just blue and purple, it's green and red, like that metallic color, you know? All right, so sorry. Okay, so we were just talking about the crystal children of it all. And so another thing that relates to the indigo children, aside from star seeds, is the rainbow children. And I wanted to briefly mention the rainbow children because it was related to this whole thing, but then I had to mention the crystal children because the crystal children are directly related to the rainbow children. And the rainbow children is like the third generation of indigo children. And they're usually like born from crystal children. So they're all babies right now. They're really, really tiny. If they exist right now, they're babies and really small. Actually, like 2000s. So some of them could be 21 or 25 by now, right? If they were born right on 2000, they could be 25, 24. But yeah, so these are the younger ones, the youngest of the indigo children. So this is the third generation. And they believe to be born from the crystal children, which are the ones prior to that. And they're related to the indigo. And so their aura is often seen as like a rainbow. And yeah, so they have like a rainbow aura. So their aura is like multicolor rainbow. And instead of a shimmer, it's like a rainbow color. And they're born with a very big heart, and their whole purpose is to bring joy and harmony to their families and
Wait,
anyone that they
wait,
connect
you
with.
have to specify on the heart. Is that a big heart emotionally or physically?
No, emotionally, like
Okay.
they're sorry, not physically. My bad. No, I thank you for pointing that out. I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it, and I'm glad that you mentioned it because people were like, "Is it because of the size?" No, no, sorry, no. Um, they're very expressive. They're very emotional. They're very loving. You know, they've got a big heart. Like, you know, they give a lot. They love a lot, and so and they bring joy and harmony to families and anyone that they come in contact with. They manage to make smile or bring a little bit of light into their life. And they actually aren't bothered by negative emotions. It doesn't really affect them. It kind of just bounces off of them. And they can recover very quickly from like having a negative encounter, having to encounter someone with a negative encounter or that's like super confrontational. They can bounce back very, very easily. So it doesn't even, they don't slow down. They don't slow down. They're just straight up, okay, whatever you say. Bye. It's just very, 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 very. I like I said, they're very, yeah, and because they're so bubbly, like negative emotions just bounce off of them, and they can read people's feelings, so they can look at you and know what you're feeling, even if you're masking. They know you're masking when you're masking, and so they have very strong connections to color. So they like to dress in colorful clothing. They're usually very, very bright, very, very colorful. So they have a very strong connection to color, and they like to express the colors in the way they dress.
They're
And
just a group of pastel goths. That's what you're saying. Gotcha.
yeah, and they don't actually fear anything, and they know exactly, like they're just protected. They're just protected. Like I said, everything just bounces off of them. Negative emotions. They're protective. They're very, very protected, and so it's their unique trait is that the life just works out for them. It just works out for them, and I'll get to that why. And so because this is a newer generation and it's still a current generation that is coming in, um they're we don't know too much about them yet, and they don't fear anything, and they're constantly protected, and they often some people would actually even say that they have experienced with divinity, and they can you can look at Rainbow Child's eyes, and there's something that a message gets portrayed to you without you even knowing, like something gets sent to you by just looking at their eyes, so they make you feel a specific type, and they're extremely creative, and they have a very strong sense of self. So they have a very strong sense of who they are. They understand who they are. They know what they want, and they're not they're not swayed to think like other people. They're very I'm envious of a Rainbow Child. I wish I was a Rainbow Child, to be honest. And they are very high energy, and they easily manifest anything. So if they want anything, like they want and need due to them just being born without karma, and they're, like I said, they're extremely expressive, and the reason they're born without karma is because they don't have past lives that connect them. So they don't have any karma at all, because they didn't have a past life, so they didn't have karma to pay for their previous lives. So they're fresh spirits or fresh souls in earth, so they're a brand new like life brought into earth. And
They're just a baby.
they're just happy, and like I said, they're extremely expressive, and um they don't have a natural ability to clean toxins from their body. So they can't eat specific junk foods. They have to work on it, because like they can't eat things that are toxic, because it brings toxins into their body. So they actually can't do junk food at all, because of they can eventually, but they actually have to work their way into it, kind of thing. They avoid junk foods and stuff like that because of the toxins in the junk food. And they have to learn at a very young age to start to intake this, so that their body can get used to it. So if they wanted to start young, or something that they wanted to work on, they can do it, but they have to work on it. So they can get over being sick because of junk food by slowly, I don't know, but they just say that they can partake in junk food without upsetting their tummies if they work on it. Pretty much is what that means. So that's what I have for Indigo children, which brought in Crystal children and Rainbow children, and we just learned that their purpose is to make us better. And it seems like every single generation that comes from the Indigo child is just like another force that's making us closer and closer. And they all have a specific role, and I feel like their roles are really, really important. So especially now with how our political climate is where we live right now, I really felt like reading this made me wish, made me truly wish, like I really wish that this was 100% true, and I really wish there are people out there trying to clean up what's going on right now and try and make us better. But my heart, it's just I like the idea of it, and I'm hoping that who knows, it might be true. A lot of people.
Well, if we get less people trying to turn it into a cult, it may actually it may actually be able to be found to be true, or actually develop into a truth. The what is it? Put it out into the universe type thing. But yeah,
Yes.
wildness.
So I knew that you were going to be here, Kate, so I have something special for this topic as well. So they do have a presence in media. There's different music that actually mentions indigo children or that relate to indigo children. There's different books that talk about indigo children, and there's different articles and movies and media and different podcasts or YouTubes that talk about indigo children. So they have a very strong media presence. All you need to do is type indigo children and you see what you get, right? And a couple of my favorites is one of my favorite bands was Tool. And I love Tool because I love Maynard James Keenan. Well, I love everyone from Tool, but Maynard James Keenan just has something in my heart. And he has another band called Pussifer. And his first album...
I love Pussifer. I love Mila Jovovich actually stars in one of them.
Yeah. Martini Mix. The Martini Mix. Yeah, and so...
Well, there's more, yeah, but yes, go ahead.
So, Pussifer is the reason I was introduced to Indigo Children, because they had a song called Indigo Children. And it was, like I said, I loved anything, like I love anything relating to Maynard James Keenan. So, all of his side projects, everything. I even, like, had a couple bottles of his like wine, his first wine that came out. There's a song called Indigo Children that was made by Pussifer, so that is how I learned about
that's where this was going. We tree branched so hard.
And then after that, this is for you, Kate, because I know you love me and I love you, and you know we have one thing that we like connected with at the very first time. Yeah. There is a DC comic series called the Green Lantern series, where they introduce the Indigo tribe, which was inspired by Indigo Children. The Indigo tribe was known as the Indigo Lantern Corps, and their rings or staffs was actually charged by the emotion of compassion. And so they're often seen as reclusive and elusive people. Their purpose is to spread goodwill throughout the universe. Every Lantern Corps has a specific oath that connects them to activate their power. So if you guys have ever read any of the Green Lantern comics, you have to do an oath to get the powers, or to like, you basically make a contract with your lantern, kind of, you know? Mm-hmm. And so you have to do this oath to get your ring to charge as well. And they are actually the only one of them that they made up an ancient fictional language for their lantern oath. So their lantern oath is not even, there's like no English translation for it. It's just an ancient language that they made up to add to the elusiveness of the Indigo Children, aka the Indigo tribe. And
Bentleigh doesn't know this, actually. So what Daku was referring to, what we bonded over, we're tied together forever. We have tattoos that match.
Do you see this thing right here, that light thing right there? That's the Violet Lantern Corps from the Green Lantern series. And if you guys have ever seen my tattoos on my back has all of the lanterns as a chakra tattoo on my back.
And I have all of the lanterns on my forearm. So we're bonded together forever. You can't get rid of me now.
Yeah, like Wonder Twins.
Yeah, we were we were immediately connected. Like immediately, with me and Kate, I don't know what it was, but I was immediately drawn to her. And then me and her had like connections like that. And we both are nerds for the Lantern Corps. So so I wanted to put in that the Indigo tribe was inspired by the Indigo Children for the DC
Do you know
comics.
what their language was inspired by?
It just says ancient. It says in ancient fictional language, so it's a made-up language that they made, kind of like Lilu Dallas. Like if you watch Fifth Element,
Lilu Dallas,
like the language that she speaks is like a made-up language, but he taught her how to do it, and it was like a made-up language. It's kind of like that. And so,
she spent all that time to actually learn the language. The director and her literally spoke hours in that language.
Yeah.
It was
oh my gosh,
good film. One of my favorite films. Just saying.
It's my favorite film. It is my favorite film. It is.
We should have a movie night. I just purchased it for digital.
Yes.
So I got you, Doc.
It is my favorite movie, and you know my favorite is Ruby Rod. You know it. You know I love Ruby.
Ruby Rod!
Oh my god, I love Ruby. And the diva? Yes.
What's the word of the day, my man?
We're nerding out. Sorry. All right. And
Yeah.
so there are several movies that talk about indigo children, or that are the lead roles are indigo children. One of them is called Indigo, which was made in 2003. Then there's The Indigo Evolution, which was made in 2006, Indigo in 2008, and then Indigo Children 2012, which focuses more on indigo children. But that's my topic. I hope I taught you guys something new and you guys learned something cool about indigo children. And do you think you're an indigo child or a crystal child or a rainbow child? If you're a rainbow child, you are too young to be in my channel right now.
That's not true.
Just kidding. I'm a liar.
If they were born in the early 2000s, they're some
25.
that are old
They're
enough.
fine. Yeah, that's fair.
Epic says the best part is the Green Lantern's rings have an ability to translate languages, and it has a hard time with Nokian, the Indigo tribe language.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I had to put that in there because I knew Kate was going to be here, and I'm like, Kate's going to nerd out with me when it comes to the Lantern Corps because that's our thing.
Have you seen they actually have a translation for it, Daku? Do you have it?
No, I only have the oath itself. I actually don't have the translation. And to be honest, I don't want to. I kind of appreciate it being its own little prayer that is something that I just understand what its feeling is rather than like actually reading it. You know, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I want to keep it. I want to keep it an ancient language. You know, I want to keep it as that because I just love that about it. But yeah, that's the Indigo Children. This topic was a lot shorter than my other topics, but I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something new about them. And I covered it well enough. If I missed anything, I'm sure Kate will help me out in the ghoulish bites.
Yeah, because ours ties together a lot, actually. Yeah. So anything that may have been missed by me or missed by her, we probably fulfilled the whole thing.
All right, so we're gonna run a quick ad. All right, I'm alive in pain, but trying to stay as long as I can. Good. Well, we're happy to have you here. Our next topic is going
Not good that you're in pain, but we hope you feel better.
Bentleigh.
I still have to get with you, Epic, about social media pointers and things. So,
Epic is the person that helped me figure out what software to use to edit my podcast for Spotify. So Epic helped me a lot in the beginning of me trying to figure out how to fucking post things on Spotify because I was so challenged in knowing what to do with such things.
Yeah, well, he was there. He was there with the he was there with the raid train. I did his thing, and I just saw I don't know if you meant to do that, but I just saw Birdie's art that you posted.
Oh no, I was trying to check something in the messages right there. That was actually from the last podcast episode. Birdie showed me a character of Bastet in a book series that she was reading since I covered Cat Goddess.
Oh, Bastet?
Yeah.
The cat god Bastet?
Cat Goddess Bastet. Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, she was my topic for last podcast episode, and she was a fun one. She's my guide in my Wicca practice. So she's my goddess. Are you guys ready? My lovely Bentleigh?
Nope.
No?
But it's okay.
Nope.
All right then.
No. But it's fine. I will.
We're winging it, remember?
It'll happen.
Remember, Daku?
It's gonna happen one way or the other. It might not be as long or as in depth as your topic.
I'm sure you're doing.
That's what we're here for. We're the fluff piece with your topic. So when you mention something,
you can be my
we go off
anytime.
I'll be your fluffer. but yes. Yeah, so basically, when you get to a topic, you know, as you saw, we tree branch a lot. So if you have a short topic, you know that it's going to be a lot longer than it's going to be, because Daku even thought that her topic was overwhelming but short, and she went like an hour 30.
To be fair, half of that.
There was a lot of donos in there.
To be fair, there was a break for the donos. I'm just saying, there was a little break for the subs.
I'm just saying, like, things happen in between. Yeah. Things happen in between that make it longer. So don't feel bad if you think it's short, because we talk about these topics and we do a little research behind the scenes as well. We let you take lead.
Yeah, I seriously thought mine was gonna be 35, 45 minutes, y'all. So, yeah,
right.
Yep. All right, you got this, baby. I believe in you, Bentleigh.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Have you guys ever started on something like an arts and craft project and then woken up to find it in dismay or in ruin or completed?
Is it you, Bentleigh?
Is it you? It's 100% me.
I knew it. I knew you sneak into my house.
I do it.
You fucks with my shit. I got you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You
had to
F
have
with my S.
You're either pissing me off or you're doing a really good job and I'm helping you out.
So is this like the shoe cobbler?
Yes.
You're elfing it up?
Yep. I'm elfing it up. Or in this case, I'm Kikimoraing it up.
Oh,
Kikimora!
Kikimora, yep.
What is Kikimora?
Well, I have this cool little introduction thing that I'm gonna whisper into the mic. No, I'm just kidding.
Do it.
Yes,
do it. I dare you.
ASMR.
Okay, join me as we step into a world of whispers.
Yes.
Spinning thread and things that tap in the night. Originally, I intended to study.
This is all my fault, guys. Like, I got a new mic.
Spirit.
Sometimes when you get a new mic and you're feeling it, you're just like, yes, I love you.
Yes. Yes, AMSR. Wow, I don't know what I was saying there, but
dyslexia got you there.
Yeah, right. This is all my fault, Redneck. I got a new mic, and now I'm just like, hey guys,
I just can't help it when something's in my face. I gotta lean into it. I just yep.
I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna walk away from that one before my car gets wrecked again.
That's it. This is the spicy topic. I have decided that this will be called the spicy topic. Okay, this is the spicy topic now. It was the new age topic. No, it's the spicy topic now.
Spicy topic.
It's the new age spice for your life.
Have you been naughty?
Did you
or
like
have
that
you
one
been
in your
nice?
ear holes? Did you like that one in your ear holes?
That's the only thing I liked in my ear hole. Okay,
I like pleasuring holes. It's good.
Oh man.
We
gotta me. Oh my god.
Oh, just censorship all over. Daku's gotta like bleep out this whole
It's okay.
section.
It's gonna stay on YouTube. It's not gonna stay on Spotify, but on YouTube this will stay.
We're just talking about ear holes. We're not talking about anything else. And if anybody else thinks anything else, that's you. You're a naughty bird.
Fair.
You're a naughty bird, and you're gonna get the naughty version of the Kikimora.
Yeah,
being naughty.
I still don't know what a fucking Kikimora is.
You're gonna get punished. You're gonna get punished hard.
On it. We got sidetracked by pleasuring holes. Okay, like the ASMR pleasurement.
Speaking of dark places.
This is the real reason why Daku brings me back. You know,
it's for the spice of it all. I like to have a little jalapeno in here every now and then, or a spicy habanero.
Right. The coochie. She wants the coochie back.
Oh my god. The coochie. Jesus Christ. Oh man, I love that clip, by the way.
That was my first topic, Bentleigh.
Yeah.
Was the coochie?
It was the coochie.
It's a coochie.
Oh, I definitely heard coochie.
No, it is. Yeah, no, wait. Yeah, no, that's where our sidebar came from. So because it's Scottish, like a banshee, it's a coochie.
Oh, yeah. Coochie.
And so everybody was all coochie. Yeah. So that's the implication, Bentleigh.
Well, speaking of dark, wet places.
Oh no.
What is happening?
The Kikimora likes dark places and wet holes to live in.
Oh my.
I do want to know what a Kikimora is. Just give me a second.
You'll learn,
Give me
one
a
day
second.
you'll learn.
Mysterious and unsettling.
I like how you're like pushing your mic away, like stop.
Stop! Get out of my
Stop.
face! I can't handle you right now. You're
No,
too much.
no, that's her regathering her thoughts, Daku. She's like, no, I gotta bring it back in. I gotta bring it.
I am the enforcer. I am always the one that has to make us bring it back in. Oh man.
I also bring it back in. And then, nope. I'm gonna stop myself there.
You bring it back into the dark, moist holes.
Oh my god. I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
Game
my
face.
gosh.
Oh.
Whew.
Oh. Bentley's sweating a little bit. It's okay. This is
That's
okay.
okay.
Yeah. I feel like y'all need like a smoke after that
Yeah.
shit. Holy
It's
shit.
sweating already? The
It's-
topic has just begun.
It has. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, Daku has had enough of our shenanigans and really wants to know about the Kikimora.
We all need Jesus. Don't worry.
All I know is she's a dirty girl, apparently. A very
She's a
naughty,
dirty
dirty girl.
And she thought it would be short, but my, it is very long.
Context. Oh. Oh no.
Not me killing the co-hosts. I am so sorry, guys. I took this way off the rails. Bentleigh, welcome to the actual introduction to me. Nice to meet you, Bentleigh, officially.
Nice to meet you too. The pleasure is all mine, I promise.
Oh, no. The pleasure is yours, but it's all mine.
Whew, my God.
I can breathe now.
Let me just, the fan's back. Ah, fantastic.
I got this. Got this.
I got her all hot and bothered. I'm sorry.
Just gotta focus. Focus here.
Right. That Kikimora.
Kikimora.
The Kikimora.
The Kikimora. Listen.
I lost the heart.
Listen, redneck. This happens. This happens really, really bad with me. But it's just love. It's with love. We gotta give them a little time to recover. Their smuts in their makeup. So
Stay strong.
I promise I'll be
Stay strong. Okay.
Well, then you'll get the Kikimora that will give you a helping hand if you're a good girl.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh my. Oh
Woo.
my. Why is the Kikimora giving mommy energy all of a sudden? I'm confused.
Because she is a mommy energy.
Okay,
She'll discipline you and she'll pleasure you.
Will she really though?
She does all things.
All right, let's.
She is a creature of duality.
Oh, I like that. I like duality.
Yes.
Everybody has.
Yes.
You know.
It really depends on you and how you act and where she's living, because you can find her in 2 different places.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So she's actually the female counterpart, or is known most commonly as the female counterpart to the Domovoy, which is why when you suggested her or suggested the Domovoy, it kind of led me down the path to find the Kikimora.
I'm actually excited that. Yeah, I'm really excited
similar.
because you didn't have a topic, and I'm all like, let me throw you a topic that I find interesting here. And then I love that you found your own. You're just like, yes, I like it led you to a direction, and you're like, new discovery.
Yeah. I was like, yes, this is it.
You know what
this is my thing.
She basically said, fuck you, Daku, I'm doing my own.
I appreciate that. If I lead you to something that you get drawn to and interested in, and you get captivated by, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So it's
so I was like very excited that I got invited back, and I was like, what am I going to talk about? Because I found like my little creature the last time, but nothing was drawing me in. So I was like, I can't think of anything. I need some guidance here. And just like what happens in folklore, one thread leads to another. And in this particular thread, the Kikimora is known for making things.
ooh.
Mm-hmm. And so she is known as like I said, the female counterpart of the domovoi. Some even refer to her as like the wife of the domovoi. There's also the wife of
Watch them be siblings or
Lashish,
something.
right? They're like, we're not married. This is a lie, you guys.
Like,
Like,
come
I don't know
on.
what lies you guys are spreading.
Gentrification.
Lost in
Well, listen.
translation from the ether. Sorry.
Right.
Connection was poor to the ether.
Well, you
We
know, it's
sent you
kind of like
numbers. We
it's
sent
kind
you
of like
500
telephone.
ravens. Bentley knows.
I know because she's the guide and she's my favorite.
We sent you 500 ravens. Why didn't you raven us back?
Oh, is that what that was? Oh my god. Oh, she was so good.
Why didn't you call? I sent 500 ravens. All right, I'm sorry, Bentley.
Oh, no, you're good.
I love
But
what
yeah,
we do in
this
the
is like
shadows. Oh my god.
telephone.
We should do more.
Because the Kikimora story is pre-Christian Slavic traditions. They're not quite sure like when her story came about, but it was somewhere between like the 8th and 13th century. And so like most of her story comes from especially like the swamp version of her, which we'll kind of get into a little bit. Is from like misfortune, death, of like children and women, and it comes from like abuse and things like that. So it's a little bit heavy, unfortunately. But that's where a lot of her like, if you aren't a good girl, you get punished.
Fine. Okay.
Are you sure?
Staying strong.
You
She's
got it.
not
You got
fine.
it.
She's not
You got
fine.
it. You got it.
She's going
You got
back
it.
to what they do in the shadows. Tucson, Arizona. Jackie Daytona.
I like how his disguise with a toothpick and a denim jacket. Like, oh my god.
Right. And a cowboy hat. Don't forget the cowboy hat. And he also helped the volleyball team.
If you guys
Jackie
have not
Daytona.
watched the What We Do in the Shadows
From
TV show, you
Tucson,
guys should.
Arizona.
It's you'll understand. Oh man. But Nadia,
I'm just being a nerd, and Daku loves nerdy Kates.
I do.
That's how
I
we
do.
that's how we got bonded
That's how
and
we
branded
got
forever.
connected. It's how we got married. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I scratch that itch that just can't be reached by some other people.
My god. It's
All
because you
right.
know where it's at.
Okay,
Wait,
so
what?
all
know
right.
where the itch is,
We
the
lost
spot the
track.
itch is at?
We lost track. We lost track.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Oh, we're getting off a topic again. Okay. Yep.
Domovoy.
So Kikimora. Yep. Wife of Domovoy,
Yes.
commonly known as.
or some relation.
Some relation to
Possibly.
the Domovoy.
Yes.
She's a house spirit, just kind of like he is. So he, actually, her most familiar version, in folklore is that domestic tie, and she's usually depicted as a female, because a lot of her energy and what she dives into is a lot of womanly work, like the household chores, sweeping, spinning, weaving, crafting, things like that.
Oh, can you
So is she like a house elf?
question? Can you explain to people
No,
what they are? They are an entity attached.
they're spirit.
Yeah, there we go. A spirit specifically, yeah.
Yep. Specifically in the household, they are a spirit. In the swamp, some people refer. So there's a lot that goes into the Kikimora. Most often, it's the spirit of the household, like the Domovoy is a spirit,
Mm-hmm.
and they're tied to the household. But there are versions, because the name Amora comes from nightmare, where they think that she is part of the like demons that are involved with like sleep paralysis and things like that, and she can cause nightmares and talk to you in your sleep and hide in your corners and mess with your stuff, which is why I asked, have you ever done an arts and crafts and had it like had more work or be ruined overnight?
I've had
How
a
were you
puzzle.
that day?
I've had a puzzle that was very close to being finished. There was like 8 pieces left, and I was gonna finish it, but I like ended up falling asleep. And then the next day, I finished it, and 1 piece is missing. And I finished this puzzle, and this piece happens to be right in the middle. So I don't know where that piece is. I never found it, so I have this completed puzzle with a freaking missing piece that
How were you the day before or while you were making that puzzle? Were you a
Were you
good
a good
girl
girl?
or were you a
Or were
naughty
you a
girl?
bad girl?
Yep.
Bentleigh and I, same brain. Same brain cell.
I don't
Yep.
remember. It was a long time ago. I don't remember. I
Well, if you
usually
were a
do
naughty
puzzle.
girl, then
It
that
was
would
your
make
sibling.
sense. She would have taken it from you to
Oh
punish you. Yep.
no.
So I have a
And it
question,
could
Bentleigh.
yeah, go ahead.
Is she similar? Like, I know you said it's a spirit, but is she similar to like the house elves in Nordic folklore, which is a
Yeah, a lot
person?
of those household spirits are tied together.
Okay.
Yep. So
Yeah.
they have a lot of similarities and
So
where
they steal
it's in my
stuff
notes.
too. They take
Uh
offerings without being
yeah,
offered. Gotcha, gotcha.
yep, she could take things to like hide it from you and um household gnomes, um Greek lamia, I think I said that wrong. So kind of diving into the like swamp Kikimora, she'll take your kid if you are not careful.
Oh, so she's a
She's
little
a little
like
more.
Baba Yaga, huh?
Yep. There's actually a baba, and I cannot remember the name right now. Um, that is a swamp Kikimora, and she would brew beer to the point that it got the swamp so foggy you couldn't see over it, but it would entice people in with the smell of the beer, and she would drown them. So that's a fun little story for you guys.
That is
Ooh.
terrifying, actually.
You're welcome.
That is a that's a
So have
terrifying,
you been naughty or have you been nice? Kind of like Santa Claus. And she'll know.
Or
She'll know.
Krampus or Belschnickel!
Oh, gosh, Nickel.
or all of
Belschnickel!
the elves.
The
All the
Yule
elves.
What
lad!
was the
The Yule laddie!
what was everybody's favorite Yule lad?
The one that I hated the most? Door
Yeah,
Slammer.
door slammer.
Door
Yeah.
Slammer. I hated
He
Door
would run down
Slammer.
the halls and slam doors and do all kinds of
I
Love
hate
it.
Door
nonsense things.
Slammer. I hate Door Slammer so
They all
much.
had like descriptive names of what they did. It was
Spoon
so
Licker is a
Oh
little
my god.
butthead too, but I don't mind
yeah, yeah,
Spoon
yeah.
Licker as
There's
much.
also what was the peeper, where he would just watch you.
Oh my.
You
Bentley
gotta.
was that.
All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna step away. I have my ears on, but I have to step away for an emergency.
Okay,
Oh
baby.
My
no. Okay.
my autoimmune is acting up, and I'm bleeding out of
Oh no.
everything.
You go
So
take
be
care of
right.
you.
Take care, baby. Take care of what you need
I
to.
appreciate you. I'll be back.
I love you. Okay, continue, my lovely Bentley.
Yeah, so Keek is like to scream or to squeal, and Mora comes from nightmare. Usually the Kikimora, um, in like the folklore version of her, the original version of her, she's described as like a tiny old woman, usually disheveled, nasty hair, um, kind of like a beak for a nose. Sometimes she has like bird feet or chicken feet type things
Ooh.
for her feet, and so usually you can tell um, by the sound of her clacking around when she's walking or the sound of her spindle going. So when she's weaving something, you hear that. Some people say that the sound that her name comes from the actual sound of keek 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 of her wheel
Of the
turning.
wheel. Okay, okay,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
Yep. So that's kind of where that came from. Um, Usually she can be invited into the house a couple different ways. Sometimes she'll just show up, depending on how the house is. You can also invite her in, or she can be cursed upon the house by the person that made the house, or by a witch, or somebody else who is just like, "Hey, you're cursed now. You're welcome," with this Kikimora. So she's usually
She said, "Be
invisible.
good, you get good. Be
Be good.
bad, you get bad." But here's
Yep.
my curse to you. So moral compass, bitches.
Yep, that's right. And that's why I said she's really based off of how you are behaving. Are you doing your chores? Are you being nice to the people in your family? Are you keeping your house tidy? All of those things will lead the Kikimora to help you around the house. She'll help finish arts and craft projects. She's known to like help if you have livestock like chickens, help them produce more eggs and things like that. If you are keeping your house tidy and doing all those things and leaving offerings for her, then she'll help you like keep your house tidy and sweep and do all
Aw.
that stuff. So really in tune with how the household is being kept up. If you are not doing any of those things, if you're
Your
slacking on your
stalker.
chores, yep. If you're slacking on your chores or if you're being lazy, she will show herself to you and warn you, and it has said that if you see a Kikimora, there's a good chance that you will not live much longer. And so you
No.
have to really work hard to get back into her good graces. Um, and she is known to make herself present through mischief, untangling and messing up your artwork and things like that. Frightening people with unexplained noises. So, and she'll show herself to you. She'll hold yourself down at like sleep paralysis. So she can
Actually,
really be
Oh.
chaotic when you are not behaving yourself and disrespecting her and disrespecting others. If you
actually,
are,
Bentley, if you
yes,
really like this topic, here's a sidebar for you. There's a
okay,
game called Black Cat that goes
yes,
in deeper for this, but it's
hmm.
more along the lines of Baba Yaga and the lore behind the Kikimora and the Baba Yaga.
There's also
So
a video game called, I think it's called Black Book, where she is
it's a lot of
present there.
black, little
Yeah,
a
a lot of
black
black.
lore. Yeah.
Black.
So Black Book, you take Black Cat, I'll take Black Book, and we'll
Okay.
play them together.
Tried.
So that's kind of one of her versions is that's her main version. What she's known for is the household, or also called like the forest Kikimora. So that one is not always evil if she's respected and you keep things orderly and things like that. She'll help you keep things orderly.
um,
If you don't, then she messes you up.
because
So the message to this community, go ahead, Daku.
in the Philippines, I talked about this topic as well. There's a lot of the similarities of like being bound to a household um for duendes and Kikimora, so that's a similarity, but duendes are in the Fey realm, so you did mention that it does belong within the Fey realm, right? Kikimora?
Yeah, the spirit realm
Yeah.
mostly, but she's tied to like other household type um
Yeah,
creatures.
the what I mentioned, the Tantu,
The
that would be
Tantu.
more along the Duende line.
Okay.
Yep.
Because the Tantu is a less like they're a lower level house elf, basically. They hide it in the walls and they take things that are shiny and they think is important to them, and they do the same thing that the Kikimora does, but they do not take your life. They do not, dictate
And
based off of
she's
morality.
she's more of like not judgmental, but based off of your vibe.
Right.
And
She
so,
Where
matches she matches your energy.
yep,
yeah. Yep, yep,
100%.
yep. And what I was saying is the message to the community is be good to everybody, be good to the earth, and be better people. And then Kikimora will not come for you.
Yes, do not. She will not bother you. You can actually get rid of her by if you're cursed with her, or she just enters into your home and attaches to your dwelling. You can. She's usually. It's really hard to get rid of her, but there are ways that you can get rid of her, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit
Okay.
more.
All right.
I wonder if there's a movie. Maybe we could watch that together
Oh, I
in
would like
Daku's
that. I
Discord.
would like that.
So
Or Bentley's. We could crash in Bentley's Discord.
yes, there. So I did not see any movies specifically. Where is my? I had a whole thing.
Uh-oh.
Where'd it go? Hey, look, I lost my notes.
That happened to me before.
Hey,
That's
Notes?
happened to
What are
me
those?
too.
yeah, notes. What are those? Yeah.
Not everybody has everything memorized, Kate.
I
Oh,
noticed.
no, I wasn't making that implication. The
She
implication for me.
is mentioned, and I believe that the nickname for the character in the new movie that was released, Ballerina, the nickname is Kikimora. And she's a shadow, like in the shadows ascension. Assassin. I don't know what ascension is. What is that word? Why did I say
Ascension?
that? I don't know.
You said ascension because Daku's topic was about,
Ascension.
awakening
Yeah.
and ascending into a higher spiritual
Yes.
vibration. See, we
Yep.
got you.
We gotcha.
I'm there. We're there.
Yeah.
Okay. So some of the stories talk about like if the in Slavic tradition, so like spinning was a lot of the folklore was based around spinning. A lot of it dived into like if you didn't do your spinning, that she would break your wheels
Damn.
and break your looms
Savage. Wow.
because you weren't doing your job.
Whew.
She would detangle threads. So, as when I mentioned earlier, a thread in folklore led to another. It was a play on words. You're welcome.
Sassy.
I am sassy. So she gets really a lot of her former soul comes from like past or mistreated servants or women who passed away or weren't baptized and things like that. And so if a baby is crying too much, this is why I say like be respectful of your household. If your baby is crying too much and she deems it not being well taken care of, if you're not being well taken care of by your husband, if you live with the husband, then she will start like knocking things around. She might be that, what'd you call that guy? Door slam.
Door slammer.
Oh, door slammer.
Throws you over
Yeah.
the
Yep, that's
lads.
gonna that will be her. She'll slam doors. Uh,
Run down the halls and slam
Run
doors.
down the
and all
halls.
kinds
You
of
won't be able to
noises.
see her. She really likes being in dark
She
places.
really knows how to piss me off.
Yeah,
Oh, she's scary.
she does. She really likes dark places, so she'll live behind like stoves, she'll live up in the attic. Anywhere that's like really dark and hidden away or really heavy even in the daylight. That's usually where you'll find her hiding or living
She's
in your
secretly
house.
the tooth fairy from Darkness Falls. She's coming at me for my teeth.
She's gonna
didn't
come
do
and
it.
get you.
For all
I
your
was
teeth.
just in the bathroom.
Many homes, especially before pre-Christian times, before pre-Christianity, and even like after she still lived on in their lore. But a lot of families considered her a necessary part of the household and a part of the balance in the household. So it was usually her with a Dama boy, and the two balanced each other out. Most
So it was a
typically,
cultural, oh God, I can't say that. Cultural belief versus a religious belief.
yes,
Gotcha.
yep.
Wow.
And
I got
she
the
was
case of the Daku.
she was the shadow to the Dama boy's light, a warning to basically maintain that harmony. You could leave out bread, clean the floor, and being quiet at night were ways to like keep her happy. She would even, if you kept her happy enough, she would even save children from danger, alert the family to illnesses by making strange sounds before the symptom appeared. So that's kind of like that household, Kikimora, and a little bit about her.
Wow.
That's actually interesting because the banshee does the same thing. Like before a death, you hear
Is there
the
any
banshee wail.
benefits for you having a Kikimora versus not having a Kikimora? Like, do they bless you with anything specific or what?
Just with like keeping the house clean. In some places there were in some versions of lore, there was like bonds and ties to like single women where they like helped them feel better. Like in one story, her husband got lost in the woods and never returned. And she was really sad and she forgot to like leave out her like offerings to the Kikimora, and the Kikimora was like, "Hey, yo, girl, what up? Why are you doing this?" And she was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, I'm really sad." And the Kikimora was like, "I will help you if you start doing this." And the Kikimora helped her like work through her grief.
Wow.
So there are
Okay.
stories like
So
that.
there are some good things because I'm like, why would like?
Yes.
Because I'm all like, okay, so there are things that you want to would make you want to get rid of them, and I'm all like, why doesn't everybody just
Yeah.
get rid of them? But it makes sense that there is a positive along with it. So yeah.
And they're also very good at teaching lessons. Like a lot of the folklore is like if you are being a naughty girl and don't do your chores, she will show yourself to you and scare you into getting your stuff done. Right? So like one of the stories is that this young lady, a child of the household, was not doing her like spinning with her threads and doing her weaving, and the Kikimora showed up above her bed and was like, "Hey," and taking apart her like threads and stuff.
Oh God.
And the good thing, I took apart all of her work, which was seen as like that's not a good thing, right? You take a lot of
That's
That's her
pride in
sleep
that's
it.
that's
paralysis
bad.
Yeah.
demon.
Yeah.
He's like, "Get to
And
work, bitch."
get the work. And so, like, the lesson was learned by the young lady, and she did not slack on her household chores anymore. And, so it was like keeping that balance and putting back people back into harmony. So if you had a household that was out of balance, then the Kikimora would show up, cause some problems to get
But
your
she's
house
a
back in
girl's
balance.
girl. She's tough loving and or
Gotcha.
real big loving. So like
Okay.
if you're good, say for example, your husband's being an asshole and making your chores hell,
She'll
she gonna
scare him
come in and
straight.
make those. Well, she'll do the chores for you. What it sounds like.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Oh.
versus
so,
I mean, I wish you would also
versus
yell at him and
making
be
you.
like, "Do it, bitch," and
Well,
haunt
she's got
his dreams.
limitations.
Yes.
She
she
can
does
only
have limitations.
intervene.
She was more like the Dama boy was more the male empowerment of the household. Kikimora is more of the feminine,
So
the
Kikimora
rage, the
are
labor, the
usually related to the female of the household and only interacts with the
yes.
female of the household. Okay.
Yep.
So, because I was just wondering, like, does the husband get to see, like, communicate and interact with the Kikimora? But no, it seems like
There
it's
has been very limited exposure that I saw in the stories that where the Kikimora showed herself to a male.
okay. 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 I
It
was
was
just wondering.
all female related. Yep.
So, okay. Good to
Yeah.
know. Good to
And
know.
and to kind of
Unless
piggyback
she was stealing
on
them.
right. And
Yep.
to piggyback on your concern, Daku, it sounds like Kikimora would empower the female to stand up for herself in those situations.
Yeah.
Okay.
More of
Okay.
like
Okay.
hey, you need to keep this in balance
Give her a little
and do the
coaching.
work.
A little
Yep.
coaching.
Yep.
Tough love, kick her in the butt.
Tough love. Get it
Oh,
together.
was there more?
Um, hmm?
Is there more?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm not
It's like, yeah.
I'm so
yeah.
excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we were talking about like she normally presents as herself to females in most cases. However, the swamp Kikimora is not nice and does not care
Oh,
who she shows herself to.
I
okay.
mean, if you lived in a swamp, would you be nice too? Would you be happy?
Can
Would you
you
spread
No,
love?
imagine? Can you
probably not.
can you imagine being as free spirited as like the swamp hag? Just doesn't give a crap about anyone else at all and just gets business done on her own. It's just like,
Well,
man,
have have you seen some
dang.
Slavic wear? I could only assume that swamp ass.
No.
Yeah, it's a lot of heavy textiles, a lot of heavy
Oh,
textures.
ooh,
So
texture. I don't
you're
like. Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
like tech.
cotton, it's not well breathing. It's like it's wool
Mm.
stuff. So you get like your
Whoa.
ass is swampy.
Oh God. Okay.
So she's not happy.
Swampy.
All right.
Swamp.
All right.
Swampy ass.
So
we talked about Baba I'm gonna say
Baba
this
Yaga.
wrong. No, it's Bolotanista. BOLOTNITSA.
Sure.
I would have to
Is
see
the
it,
name.
but I believe you.
I'm gonna post it in the chat.
Sure.
Follow
I'm like,
Tanisa.
yep, sounds right to me.
Yep.
That's right to
Sounds
me.
good.
I gotta read it. Yeah, so it's Baba Bolotanisa.
I'm not a linguist, so I don't always pronounce things. So she was the one that I was talking about that would craft and brew beer to the point that it would
Damn.
fog up the area and lure men in with the smell of the beer to drown
she
them.
was hurt. A man hurt her.
Someone did.
Someone hurt her and took it out on
someone
a
hurt her.
man.
Well, a lot of the stories about her is like usually it's someone who a female who drowned
Mm-hmm.
or like an or was schmurdered in some way.
I think we can say the actual word on.
Well, I don't
Twitch.
know, but I'll just I'll be safer than sorry. Uh,
Yeah,
and
I think
so
it's TikTok that's real rough on
yeah.
that.
So she is more depicted as like an elderly woman who's thin and ugly and usually has like a fur coat of like moss
Told you.
wrapped around her.
Fur, mossy fur,
Fur.
swamp ass.
Fur.
Yep.
Told you.
Weaves of like forest plants and stuff in her hair and things like that instead of ribbons. She does live with the gators that you feed to the bots. That you feed the bots with. And so she's usually oh my gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? She transforms into other things. There's a specific word for that and I cannot think of it right now.
Not
You know,
shapeshifter.
you're giving me Ophelia vibes,
Shapeshifter,
by the way.
yes.
Shapeshifter.
She is a shapeshifter.
This was Ophelia, and she's just coming back from Shakespeare lore.
She usually is like a frog or a toad or a black cat of some kind. The household ones can turn into like pigs and stuff.
So she's like a druid, pretty
Or-
much. She's the druid.
Yep.
Okay.
And
okay.
occasionally she turns herself into a lovely young lady to entice men and lead
I got
them
some
off
beer in
the
my
path.
swamp.
I got some beer in my swamp. You want to come taste my swamp ass?
Hello guys, I got some beer in my swamp. You wanna
Oh my god. Oh,
I'm sorry, I had to do it. I'm sorry, I had to do it. I had to do the creepy voice.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And with the mic.
So,
Hello boy.
Oh my gosh.
I got some beer. Oh, wear headphones for the pure experience of this audio.
Yes.
warning. Oh god. Okay, so so she does what to the men? She lures them off the road.
She lures
I like
people
her
off the
already.
road. She lures people out of the boundaries. And she'll lead them usually to like drowned or
Does
to
she
get
eat
lost
them?
and things like that. I did not find anywhere where it specifically said that she ate them.
I know, because a lot of babas eat
Yes.
their victims.
So
I just
that
wanna
might have
make
been
sure.
like that specific Baba might have done it, but the Kikimora in general is not usually none
Well,
of the folklore I said.
Kikimora
Have that.
is separate than Baba,
Yeah.
though. So I just know that some that are titled Baba tend to eat certain things.
Yeah.
Like, for
Like
example,
people.
the Baba Yaga can abduct children and eat them.
Yes.
Where,
Oh.
yeah.
And this
It's
one was specifically for like adults, with the beer.
right. So Daku, I want to let you know it's more of a learning experience with the Baba Yaga taking children. It's to keep children in their rooms at night.
Well, and this is kind of like what they viewed the swamp Kikimoras to be as more of a warning. So like if you saw her, it was like a warning to like
You need to get
not
home.
like go home, stay your path, behave yourself, don't mess with her. Um like, hey, if you see this, then there's danger ahead. Don't go that direction, kind of thing.
Right. And what I gather from the lore is to keep men from becoming alcoholics and staying out all night. So
yeah.
that's
Don't
my
do that.
assumption on this one, because like I said, the Baba Yaga story where it's abducting children and eating them is to keep them in their room safely at night. So anytime after 9 p.m., if you leave your room, Baba Yaga's gonna be watching
Yeah.
you.
Gonna come get you.
Whereas the Baba, what's her name? Baba, where'd it go?
Bolognese.
Polonista?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bolognese.
Baba Bolonista
Bolonista?
appear. Yeah, it appears that she is. Guys, you better stop. That's your last drink. When it's closing time, it's closing time.
It's
Better not go to
closing
the swamp.
time.
Turn out all the lights.
um so usually you can tell if you come across a swamp kikimora, you can usually tell if she's followed you. Because she leaves behind wet footprints, or if she sits in a chair, she leaves
Oh,
wet
oh
spots.
no,
She's squishy.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
Daku
no,
has
no,
apparently had
no,
past
no,
life experience
no,
with
no,
squishy feet.
no. Okay,
Yep.
carry on. So the
Yeah.
footsteps, just wet footsteps follow you. Okay, that's great. That's great.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Great. Great.
You can see it. You can see
Apparently,
it in your
Daku's had a personal experience. I'm sorry, Daku. You're safe. They can't hurt you now.
I
The wet
mean,
feet can't get
I
you.
will tell you how to what you can
Ooh.
do.
Later. Okay, so footsteps, wet footsteps following.
Some people put like cotton balls and stuff inside the keyholes to make it so there was less entrances where she could get in, because it was said that she could fit through the keyholes of the house
Oh, is she
to
water?
get
Does she
inside.
liquefy herself and just?
She
She just
is.
could be
Wow.
really small.
I didn't even expect to make that noise.
Yeah.
She said
She is
swamp,
shaped.
so she
Yeah,
might turn
she
into
is
a
a
swamp
shapeshifter.
water.
And so
Oh yeah.
she is known to get in through that way. If you have children and she's able to get into your home, she will take your children and leave an enchanted log in their place and take them in the middle of the night.
Oh, that is some fey
What's this
bullshit.
enchanted log, though? What is this log? Does this log do something for me? Because I may not be
No.
sad that they took my baby.
No, I
Just
think
a log.
I think they transfigure the log to make it look like
Yeah,
said baby, like
to
that,
make it look like your
like
baby.
changelings. Yeah.
Oh, so that's it's enchanted to look like my child. Well, that's just come on, leave me something magical, dude.
Like, what are you doing?
Okay, so
This isn't a fair trade.
And usually, usually the swamp Kikimora is linked to death and decay. So usually that's why she's typically more of the evil. She's not. She does not. There's less instances of her being like a good spirit and more linked to demonic. And then she has her own version of her counterpart, which is Leshy. It's Leshy, and he is a forest spirit
Okay.
and kind of like the king of the forest in some places.
Part of me feels like that the Kikimora that lives in the household gets so fed up that it decides to go in the swamp and be like, I'm a swamp Kikimora
I'm
now.
a swamp Kikimora now.
I'm a swamp bitch now.
It's just the evolution. It's just the evolution. You
Like,
start
I'm tired
here
of
and then
cleaning
you
up
get
your
tired.
messes.
This is me now. Yeah,
She's like, I'm running away, never to be seen again.
Well, I think the house Kikimora just gets fed up with all the men doing men things and seeing men come over or come home all intoxicated and then thinking that they're hot shit, and then she's all like, "Well, I'm gonna go brew some brewskis for these guys and see how they like it," and just take them out.
Or what if she gets upset by the Domovoy? The Domovoy and her like, I am tired of this Domovoy. I'm living in the swamp.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
living in
Well, that's too damn bad. Keep digging. Or, well, in this case, keep drinking.
Keep drinking.
Oh man,
Because
I
I'm
like
pretty sure
her.
the translation of their relation is incorrect. I don't think they're lovers.
I think the swamp Kikimora is I'm more her speed. I like her a lot more. I like her so
Yes,
much more. I
she
like
will. She's also more
Daku
because
likes
of
her
her.
some masculine energy
Oh
morals.
my. I
So
think that
like
she's
no,
more
she likes
she's
putting
more
it in.
dominant. She's more the reason why you'll get nightmares and she'll sit on you and things like that.
I mean,
Mhm.
that's if she
Mhm.
sits on me, I mean, she's sitting on me wet though. She
Yeah,
I
with
mean,
her
she's wet
swamp
all the
feet.
time.
With her
her,
wet
her
swamp
swamp
feet.
ass.
Oh
Her
God.
swamp ass.
Oh God.
You gotta remember, it's not just her feet; it's her
Oh
ass. That's probably
no.
where
How am
the
I
wet
gonna
feet were
publish this
coming
on
from, though.
Spotify? I don't think I will. Oh God, it's
You're
fine.
gonna
It's
you're
fine.
gonna find
It's
a
fine.
way. You're like, hey, little boy, do you want some beer? That's the censor.
Okay.
That's the censor noise from now on.
Oh man.
Anytime something comes up, that's
Oh.
it. Hey, little boy, do you want some beer?
Okay. Let's focus. Let's focus. Ready, Bentley?
Whew.
Okay. We love the
All right,
swamp
we
Kikimora.
love the song Kikimora.
Preventing Kikimora
Meaning-
from coming back. Is there anything to appease Kikimora after she stole the baby? Can you get your baby back, or is that
I
nope?
didn't really see anywhere that said that you could get your baby back.
So she just takes us and leaves us her fucking log.
Yeah.
That looks like our baby, but doesn't do anything. What a bitch! I bet you it's the guy's fault. God damn it! We picked a drunkard, and now we're stuck with baby Woodstock here.
Oh. Okay, so. Whew. All right, where were we? So she kidnaps children.
Sorry. Yeah.
Leaves a log.
I am so sorry, guys. I didn't realize I distracted you so much.
Oh my god. But yeah, so most of the time the only way to get your kid back is
Oh, there we go.
let's
Prevent it
see.
from being stolen in the first place.
You don't get your kid back, actually. You don't.
It's really hard to get the kid back. I'm like looking at it right now. They are usually raised by her, the Kikimora. She usually keeps them. But you can
She doesn't
do
eat them. That's
some. You could do some protective measures. There's some amulets that you can use with materials like perforated stone, yarn, or broken pottery. Obviously, lines of salt.
That's a common thing.
Soaked
Salt.
tools. Yep, salt. I have a whole thing of black salt that I use to like.
Oh, do you make
pull it
your
off.
own?
No, I wish.
I'll show you how
I
to
just
make your
don't.
own.
I just
I
We'll
don't
talk
know how
about
to
it
make
off.
my own.
Okay.
We'll talk about it after.
Juniper over the chicken coop, and then prayers and poems meant to like keep her at bay. Also, like putting red yarn and like hats on the kid would help as well to keep her away.
Yeah,
So
red's
those
a
were some
real
of the
powerful thing too.
Yep, red is a real powerful thing. It is no, you also some other things not to do.
Redneck says, "So
Don't.
Octavius is safe." Ha 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 ha.
Yep, Octavius is safe. He's got all the salt.
And all the
He's
red.
got and all the yep.
All the
He's
salt
got
and all the red.
Roddy Mama sent Octavius a 50-pound bag of salt
Oh my
Oh my god.
god.
as a joke.
Is he that salty? Ooh,
Yes, yeah, he is that
I believe it.
salty. He is a sassy boy. And so he's probably haunted by the Kikimora and doesn't even know it. Because he's so
So
sassy.
I'm curious because we touched base with it. She raises the children. Do they go to be
It-
magical children or like in between children, or she raises them to do some chores, make the beer, fix her
Make the
swamp
beer.
ass?
It does not go into like what she does with them. It just says that she kidnaps them and then raises them. It does mention changelings. Just like
It
protecting
mentions
the
them.
changeling. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but it does not go into too much detail
Gotcha.
about it. At least what
So
I've seen.
they are in between children then. They're gonna be forever human, but living in a Fey world.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Forever young. Do, 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 do.
Well, actually, the Fey world has a sped up timeline, so they die a lot faster.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, that just killed that mood, and I'm out.
And I'm out. But that's what
Uh,
that gives the babas more time to abduct children and
more
raise
children.
children
So if you ever
because
have a child missing and you find a lock instead, uh, you
and if you
probably messed with the wrong
and if you find an adult that looks like your child,
Kikimora.
it's not that you had a one night stand with them. They probably escaped the Fey world.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Some rituals, obviously, that we talked about charms and bread and the spinning wheels. But also they like it being quiet. So it's widely believed that if you whistle, you could summon evil spirits, including the Kikimora. That the sound is thought to mimic or attract her presence. So don't whistle in your house.
Don't whistle in the woods. That's a
Yep.
big thing, especially in Appalachia.
You also want to avoid spinning or weaving at night, since the Kikimora's domain is the nighttime. Engaging in quote unquote female crafts during these hours invites her to interfere, to tangle your thread, break your looms, or um, give you nightmares.
She coming for your nuggets.
They're coming for your nuggets. That's what I call my daughter. I call my daughter Nugget, so she's coming for her.
Yeah,
Oh no.
that's a thing. That's a real thing now.
Yeah. Yep. That's how I'm gonna scare her. I'm gonna tell her that the elf on the shelf is a Kikimora, and we gotta keep the house clean.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yep.
That's
Don't
horrible.
don't.
I don't
I'm a
judge, but
terrible
that's
influence.
horrible.
Why is
You
this?
do what you gotta do, but damn.
One of the only ways to really get rid of the Kikimora is by keeping the home super tidy. If there's nothing for her to do, nothing for her to complain about, then she will eventually leave, because there's nothing there that she needs to like balance or upkeep. So if you're on top of all your chores and doing all the things right, and there's nothing left for her to do, then she will leave. Offer bread and salt in corners of your house, like in dark places under the stove. Also, some people left milk for her, and some flowers. And then also protective charms like the red thread we were talking about, garlic bundles, wooden figurines meant for that. And
She
then yeah,
said,
just
"Bitch,
be
you
quiet.
boring. I'm leaving."
Oh,
Well, not Daku,
bye.
the
Oh.
Baba. Yeah, I was talking about like if all your shit's together, she leaves.
She
And
leaves. Yep.
bam, Daku left.
Yeah. And
All her
boom,
shit's
she was
together.
gone.
Yep. But yeah, so that is wild though that, you still leave offerings. Is she also, I know a lot of Fae do not like iron. Did they mention anything about iron?
I did not see anything about iron specifically for her. It's mostly the garlic and the salt.
Oh, so she's a
And the red.
vampire. Gotcha. So garlic
Yep.
salt is a
Like a
double burn.
Yeah, double
Ooh,
burn. Get her
nice.
good. Some regions, the Kikimora followed women into their marital home or appeared during pregnancy
Whoop.
to mark the transition of like domestic life. So you went from being a single woman to married woman with kids.
All the single ladies.
Some Kikimoras were passed down from generation to generation. Housebound, like we were talking about earlier, how she's bound to a house versus a family. So if the house was passed down generation to generation, she's stuck with that house. Um, and most of the rituals that were done in the folklore were not just to banish fear, they were to reinforce household values of respect, order, and diligence, and maintaining a respectful environment for families, to turn Kikimora from a threat into like a helpful presence or silent her in general. And so the way we see her now, though, is not like her folklore appearance at all. She is most known in modern media for her Witcher appearance. If you ever watched The Witcher on Netflix, the Kikimora is the giant spider that Geralt fights at the beginning of the show.
Oh yeah,
And
those
is
hairs
also
on her ass gives
Yep.
her bigger swamp ass now.
Oh god.
So she's
Spider hairs.
she's a swamp Kikimora in The Witcher, and she's also like the little thumbnail for the show on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So, yep, that's her. She's also in. We talked about some of the video games that she's in, like the Black Book, which is an independent horror folklore based game,
And then Black Cat.
and Black Cat. Yep. She's also in some like comic books and graphic novels. And then most recently, she's mentioned in the movie Ballerina, which is in the John Wick world. If you've seen anything on that, I have not watched the Ballerina yet, so no spoilers. That's the only spoiler you'll get, is that the Kikimora is mentioned in there, and that is supposed to be the nickname of the lady. And some musicians in Russia and Poland used her still in haunting songs and portray her spirit of ancestral memory or grief through their art.
Wow.
That Kikimora in The Witcher, grossest thing I've ever seen. Grosser than actual Kikimora. I am terrified. I don't want it. I have nightmares. I'm gonna send that to my arachnophobe friend Bishop, and he will be forever hateful.
Oh no! Oh nar! Oh my god!
He's never gonna open another image that I ever send him ever again.
Fun fact: some people would, and this is my last little note for you guys. Some people would prank others by pretending to make the same sounds as her with the wooden shoes or the birds clocks to ward off unwanted visitors.
Oh.
So if they had somebody they didn't want there, they would pretend that there was a Kikimora about and scare them off.
It's okay. People in the middle of the night will just hear, "Hey, little boy, what's a beer?" My lord.
Well, that
It
was
is
a lot of
100%
fun. Yeah, I barely knew anything about them, and I think that they're really, really cool. I prefer the swamp Kikimora because she seems really, I don't give a fuck about anything, and I love that attitude. Very good, very sassy. Approve it. I approve.
Yes. She was my favorite too. Like, I don't want anybody in my house telling me to do my chores. Like, but you want to lure me with some beer, right? That's a different story.
You can do my chores, but if I have a shitty boyfriend who needs to learn a lesson, get that beer out, woman.
Get that beer out. Let's go.
Get that beer out.
All right, so we're gonna do a quick ad break real quickly. We're just gonna do a quick run. I'm gonna get my water refill.
We'll stay thick. And you stay spooky.